Yo, what's up, everybody? I wanted to start this new series called Cool and Bad Teachers of High School. This is going to be the first one. It's going to be a good teacher, actually, start off on a good foot, why not? And let's get right into it. Anyway, the gameplay in the background is just some bullshit I put together. Just listen, just watch it. One of them is a pretty cool search and destroy game I got, so just watch that. Oh, God. Anyway, the first person I want to talk about is my English teacher. I had him for junior and senior year. His name was Mr. E. Let's just leave it at that. And dude, this guy he was pretty funny, man. He was known for he was mostly known for his comebacks, dude. But he was a creative ass teacher, dude. First, let's talk about the funny shit he would do, dude. Anyway, in class, no one would talk back to this guy, dude. Like if you did, as a joke or anything, he'd get your ass, dude. Man. One time, one kid was trying to be smart and shit. He's like, "Hey, Mister, yeah, you should retire, man. You're old and stuff." And then he's like, "Hey, do you know how I know your eyes are brown?" And he's like, "Well, how?" He's like, "'Cause you're full of shit." And everybody just lost it, dude. We're like, "Oh." And the kid, I don't know, he thought some things over after that shit. And he was pretty famous for his yo mama jokes. He's like, "Your mom," and then he would just go on about his day. He would just mention your mom and shit. And dude, it was just good times. Anyway, on the teaching side of things, man, he was really creative with the way he taught you things, man. When we were learning about World War II or some shit about writing or something like that, in junior year, I think it was, he made us stack up our desks with forts on each side in two groups, and then he created no man's land down the middle and shit. And then we'd lights were off, he'd freaking start playing some dramatic music, and we'd be throwing shit at each other. And then when the lights come back on, you'd have to write a letter and shit. I won most creative letter because I wrote on a tissue paper and shit. I was like, we struggling out here. Anyway, at the end of the class, we ended up throwing all the fucking paper that we made and shit at him, and it was pretty funny, man. And I remember at that freaking all the other English classes, man, at the end of the year for their senior thesis and all that shit, every other like they had to do a 3,000 word essay or some shit, dude. And he was like, all right, just give me one page, 300 words or some shit, and just make it look nice. And we're like, oh, dude, thanks, man. It was and you learned too, man. You felt like you needed to pay attention to his class just because of the respect he gave you, dude. But he was also I don't know, man. He was sketch racist, dude. Because one time in class, at the end of semester, he was all like, alright, so he pointed to me, he's like, hey, so you had 3 absences this semester. And I was like, what are you talking about? I was here every single day. And he's like, oh, probably the lights were off and I didn't see you. Oh, that's what happened. I was like, wait, what? And he's like, what happened? What are you talking about? And he'd go in the confused old guy on me, and it was funny, dude. I remember one time he was like, is Jose here? Jose? And then we're all like, there's no Jose in this class. We're mostly Mexican school and shit. He says, is there a Jose in this class? And he's like, no, there's no Jose in this class. He's like, oh, I just thought you guys were all named Jose. And then he's like, what did I do? Super defensive mode and shit, dude. God damn, dude, Mr. E, he was the funniest shit ever, dude. A lot of people would just beg for just to be in his class. I remember one time I freaking didn't show up to morning class, and he called me in the middle of the class and put it on speaker, and I was sleepy as shit, and I sounded so stupid. And he was like, hey, this is Mr. E, and I was like, oh, god damn it. And he's all like, hey, where are you at, man? And I was like, I'm on my way to school, dude. And he was all like, yeah, just hurry up, man, just take your time. And oh man, dude, if you were late to class, he wouldn't really trip, dude. I would show up 40 minutes late to class, and he would still be like, all right with it, all right, yeah, just go on with your day and stuff. He's like, come in, he doesn't really mark you absent or late and shit, He'd just be like, all right, you'll pay for the consequences later or some shit. And I was like, all right, fine. Dude, and once a semester, he would pick some person to sit in the front of his class and take attendance, and they wouldn't do shit all semester, and they'd just get an A. And that was so cool, because there's 4 quarters or some shit, and he'd pick a new one every quarter, and I was like, oh, dude. I never got picked because he said I was black and he didn't trust me with it, and I was like, alright, makes sense, And yeah, that's pretty cool, man. So this has been the first episode of good and bad teachers, I guess. And yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. I got a lot more coming, Damn, I interacted with a shitload of teachers. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the gameplay, and bye-bye!